Hey Divi Nation, welcome to a brand new weekly Divi use case live stream. We're going to be doing this to provide some extra value in and around our Divi design initiative. And for those of you who don't know, the first wave of our initiative is to give away a new Divi layout pack every Monday. And we've been doing this for a while now. I hope you have been enjoying this. And this is part of our larger mission to make you, the Divi Nation, the most empowered community on the web. And these layout packs are created by our super talented design team, and they're published on our blog each Monday, and they are also featured on our Divi use case live stream every Tuesday by me or another person from the Elegant Themes staff. In this live stream today, I'm going to be showing you how to add event scheduling and booking to Divi's Pottery Studio layout pack. That was the new one that was just released on Monday. I'll be showing you how to add new events, booking form, how to style your event pages, and also help it to match your Divi layout as well. So you can access this layout now for free directly from your Divi builder. So if you are at all confused about how to access this layout, please go ahead and check out the link to the blog post provided below, and it'll explain all of that for you. I've also added a link to the plugin we will be using and a link to get a copy of Divi if you need that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm thinking let's go ahead and get an audio check real quick. Am I coming in pretty clearly for you guys? Let me see. Let me make sure. All right. Let's see. All right. Is that a little better? We're all good? Okay, great. Thanks, Captain Jack. I love that name. Hello, everyone. I see someone from South Africa is here. That's great. All right, loud and clear. All right, well, let's go ahead and get going. Okay, so let's just really quickly just kind of give you a sneak peek on what we will be accomplishing today. As you can see, this is the new Pottery Studio layout pack. I don't know if you've got a chance to see that one yet. Let me go ahead and make my screen so you can see it here. All right. So this is the new layout pack. This is a beautiful Pottery Studio layout pack. It's got 9 pages included in it. And I'm not, for this tutorial, for this use case, I'm not going to utilize all of these pages. I'm mainly going to be customizing the classes page layout. And if you haven't gotten a chance to check this one out, this is where you can, feature any pottery classes you want to offer your users or workshops. And this is what it is right here. And it also provides you with some, blurbs here of your different classes or workshops that you would want to offer. And what I'm going to do is, with the use of a plugin called Modern Events Calendar, and I'll show you that in a moment, but I'm going to show you how you can add event scheduling to this beautiful layout here. And it's going to look like this. So I'm going to add an event slider here, which is synced up with all of your recent events, and you can simply click in here to register if you want with the slider, which looks nice. And then right below it, I've added a in a grid layout all of your recent events. Which even has a little cool button down here to load more if you have a lot that you want to offer there. So that's kind of the basic structure of this event page. But if I click on one of these actual events listed here, let me just go ahead and click on one. Let's do this one. It will take me to the event page. And this is extremely easy to deploy these pages. And as you can see here, it's got the date, the time. I've added a label of beginner here to just show the level of the class being featured. Actually, I think this is a workshop, but you get the idea. This is the organizer of the event, a link to register for the event, which actually scrolls down to the actual booking form at the bottom of the event page, which I'll show you in a second. But scrolling back up, you even have a little widget here to show the local time of the event, which is awesome feature to kind of help that transition for your users to understand what time it actually is going to occur. And the location as far as, and also the category, if you want to, filter these events by categories or tags, you can do that as well. This Google Maps option is also kind of included, really easy to add to your event page, along with the ability to add your calendar, add the event to, or sync it to your Google Calendar or iCal, and really easily. And then this little countdown timer to the event. As you can see, a whole bunch of features to this event page. The hourly schedule you could add to show kind of a breakdown of what the event's going to, if it's an all-day event or a weekend event, you can kind of break down the schedule for them, give them a little sneak peek of that. And then the booking event. Let's see, this is a ability to kind of actually book an event by purchasing a ticket and processing that payment. Here I can put in, I want one ticket, cost is $200. Got 30 tickets available, and I can just go ahead and start the process of buying my event ticket. And so I can book this event, and then once I do that, I can choose how I want to pay locally. I've actually integrated Stripe here, and I would just continue and enter my information to pay using Stripe. So really cool. It also handles all of the email, outgoing emails and notifications and all that stuff really well. So a real simple and easy to use and actually really good design. I was surprised at how well it was designed out of the box and easy to customize. So that's kind of a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing here. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and check out the comments here. It looks like we got a lot of discussion out on YouTube here. Oh, we're just getting to know each other, which is awesome. It's always good to see. Oh, someone from Greece, Kostas. All right, well, as y'all get to know each other, I'm just going to keep plugging along here. All right. All right, so if you're just joining us, I want to welcome you to this Divi use case live stream. And what I'm going to be doing today is showing you how to add event scheduling and booking to your website using Divi's Pottery Studio Layout Pack and the Modern Events Calendar plugin. You can access the Layout Pack directly from the Divi Builder now, and when you add a layout to the page from the Divi Library. And you can also, I've also included links to everything you need in the video description, like a link to Divi, to the plugin, and also to the blog post that goes along with this use case. So actually right now, if you want, it would be a good idea to actually follow along with this use case with the blog post that was published today. And you can go ahead and check that out. All right, let's continue on. Now that we're done with our little sneak peek, just a reminder of what you need: Divi Theme, Pottery Studio Classes page layout, and the Modern Events Calendar plugin. So these are the three main things that you will need. Also, the Modern Events Calendar plugin is currently, it is a premium. It's a $34 plugin. You can get it at Code Canyon here, and or from, I think, their website you can as well. But this is the plugin I'm using here. Again, I really love the design of the built-in design of the event pages and the calendars that they have, and you'll be surprised at how many custom calendars you can produce. So many skins and styles, it's crazy. So I recommend the plugin. It's really easy to use, and it's got a ton of settings. So let's go ahead and go over some of those settings actually. I'm assuming though that you have already uploaded, or I'm sorry, you've got your Divi theme installed and all that, and now we're ready to go. Make sure and get this layout from your Divi library. This is kind of new with the recent release. Now all of our Divi layout packs are available to you automatically within your Divi library whenever you add a new page to your layout. So to do that, just a reminder to you, I'm going to enable my visual builder. And I'm going to just kind of show you. I think I'm doing the wrong one here. Oh, that's the right one. All right. I'm going to scroll down, or I'm going to get to this little page settings menu here. And I'm going to click on the plus icon, just like you would add a new library, a new layout to your from your library. But now you have all these wonderful options under a new tab called Pre-Made Layouts. And now you have all of these wonderful layouts ready for you. So you can just simply come down here and click on the Pottery Studio Layout Pack. So once I do that, I'm going to be using this one called Classes. So this is the Classes page, Studio Layout Pack. Once you select it, go ahead and click Use this layout. And just a reminder, if you get the prompt to authenticate your subscription, go ahead and enter your username and API key that you got when you signed up for your Elegant Themes membership. So I hope that's not too difficult of a transition for everyone. I don't know about you, but I really love the fact that all of these awesome layouts are already there, available. I don't have to go and download it or worry about doing that anymore. So awesome. Really happy with this feature. All right, let's continue on. Now that we have our layout on our classes page here, I'm going to dive into our settings. So let's go to the dashboard here. If you have your plugin installed, the Modern Events Calendar plugin, you're going to see this new tab here, ME Calendar. So I'm going to hover over ME Calendar, and then I'm going to go to Settings. So this is the first thing you probably want to do whenever you install the plugin, to kind of get the basic defaults and all the settings set up. So I'm going to go through these, and again, if you at all get confused, I mean, they do have documentation on their website as well. If you want to scroll down here to support, they do. But it is kind of helpful to kind of go through them with kind of Divi in mind and what we want to accomplish for a specific use case. In this case, we're going to be building events for a pottery studio. So a workshop and a class. So that's our goal here. So let's go through some of these general options here. So out of the box, you'll see the this just so we know where we are, this settings menu item will be selected with all of these submenu items here. And if I clicked on these, it would just kind of, these are anchor links, it'll just take me to that part of the page. So we're going to go with the first one, which is general options, and real easy. I'm just going to leave it as it is. This is probably a good setup for anyone starting out or needing an event calendar or whatever. So these settings are pretty good. The only thing I would suggest is this is where you would enter your archive page title, and this would be for SEO purposes, you know, to give that page a title there. So, but all of these I'm just going to keep the same. Scrolling down, the slugs, permalinks, again, I'm just going to keep them as events or an MEC category so that it doesn't conflict with my default WordPress category there for my posts or anything. Also, if I was going to be, you know, hosting just classes on my website, maybe I would change events to classes. Maybe that would be a better user experience for them. The event details, single event page. This is one thing I do want to change on under that one is I'm going to change it, the single event style, to modern. The default style, in my opinion, isn't as good as the modern style. And basically what we're talking about is the style of, let me just go to any event for a moment. Show you what I'm talking about here. So if I click on an event, this style of this page layout is the modern style. So that's where you change that in the settings. And you'll notice there's a lot of different styles as we go through some of the settings here. All right, so the currency is US dollars. I just added the currency sign there. But everything else I just kind of kept the same. I did add a API key for the Google Maps. So you definitely want to do that if you want to display your Google Maps in your event page by default. And it basically takes whatever, just like in Divi, right? Whatever address you put in to when building your event, it's just going to pull from that and display a Google map and actually put this little event location pin there, so which is nice. All right. Yep. Let's keep going. The zoom level, this is for your Google Maps. I would put about 14. That puts you at about a street level, easy to see what's going on. And I left everything else as the default. You can enable Google reCAPTCHA if you want for your booking form. Export module, again, that's the Google Calendar and iCal ability to sync with your personal calendars. So I kept both of those active. They are by default. I like this idea of showing the local time module. That's this one here. This little widget to show the local time. So I kept that, or I added that as an option. I didn't show this, but you have the option of putting a QR code on your event page, which would also show up on your invoice after they book, which it would be cool to have whenever you're selling tickets and you want to, you know, scan the QR code when attending events and things like that, which is really cool feature. Maybe not something you would do for maybe a pottery class, but very helpful. There's a weather module that shows the current weather of the location. I didn't add that to mine, but that's an option. Countdown options. I chose the flip style rather than the plain style. That's this one down here. this countdown timer. And then the social networks for sharing, which are right above your calendar there. You can share the event. Important. And you can actually show next events on the event page. So if you have recurring events or events in session, like during the week, different events you want to just show on your event page, you can do that as well. You can also allow users to actually add their own events to your website if you want that capability. So if you want that, you can actually choose which page you want to have as the event page and the page that they can use to edit their own events. So if you want others to be able to add events to your website, this is where you would put those settings there. All right, let's go on to the booking options here. You will definitely, this is very important if you want to, sell tickets or actually allow them to book their this event online. You will need to click this enable booking module here. And one other thing, I just kept the date and all that as the default, but I did check all these auto verifications. I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of keeping things streamlined and evergreen and all that. So I like to keep things done automatically whenever possible. So instead of, maybe you do, maybe you don't need to verify every booking, but I went ahead and put those as auto for now. That way, whenever they book an event, that they won't have to go through this process of back and forth of the confirmation of that booking. But sometimes it's needed, I know that, so it's there for you to check off as needed. You can add coupons, you can enable taxes, you can even integrate BuddyPress and MailChimp, which is a cool feature, I think. And then, yeah, that's about it for the general settings. All in this area here. So once I checked off to enable booking on my for my plugin here, once I check to enable booking, I'll have this option here, this booking form tab that will show up, and this payment gateways. So if you don't see those on yours, it's probably because you haven't enabled booking yet. So make sure you do that. I'm going to actually go on to the booking form. This is where you would add your custom input fields. If you wanted to add any input or information you want to gather from a person when they book the event, this is where you would add those things. By default, they're just going to take your, it's going to take the user's name and email. So, which is really all I needed, so I just kept it as the default. But if you wanted to, you could add new fields, and this will show up on all your booking forms on your event pages. All right, how are we doing out there? Is everybody following along? Feel free to ask questions, and of course, ask questions. We got some people there in the comments from our team helping out. Thanks, BJ and Nathan, for helping out. I see y'all in there. All right. Lauren, the name of the plugin is Modern Events Calendar plugin. So it's a good time to just remind everybody of what we're doing here. So if you're just joining us, welcome to our Divi use case live stream, and today I'll be showing you how to add an event scheduling, and booking to your website using Divi's Pottery Studio Layout Pack and this plugin called the Modern Events Calendar plugin. And you can access the Layout Pack, the Pottery Studio Layout Pack, directly from the Divi Builder now. And I've also included links to everything you'll need in the video description, including a link to the plugin and the blog post that goes along with this use case. All right, let's go ahead and get going. We're almost done these settings. I know it's probably not the most exciting thing, but it's necessary. The last few here are payment gateway. I love the option of to pay locally, especially if you're hosting like a workshop, and you don't want to deal with, you know, online payments for some reason. You can just have them show up and pay when they get there. So, and it'll still kind of process it on the website, record their information, and then also have an invoice printed for them to take with them. And then you could add your Stripe account easily, integrate it here by putting your secret and publisher key. So real simple to integrate Stripe as well as WooCommerce and PayPal. Under the notifications, this is where, you know, all of the back and forth emails would take place, like for verification, things like that, booking notifications, and that goes. These emails will be sent to the user, and also the emails necessary for the admin to receive whenever, to be notified when someone new books. Of course, it has all these merge tags, these wonderful little tags that will you can customize your email with. All of these are in one place, easily to be edited, so which is nice. All right, so the styling option here. So not a whole lot actually of styling options, but there's one really important thing I want you to do whenever you're integrating it with your layout is to add your custom color skin. So since I'm using the Pottery Studio layout, I'm going to want to grab that orange that serves as that primary accent color for the layout here. So this orange that you see on the buttons and the dividers here and on the links. So that would be what I would consider the main accent color, and that way when we add that color to the Modern Events Calendar plugin settings as the color skin, it's going to add automatically this orange to all of these elements on the event page. So it's a really easy way to just kind of match that color scheme on your event page. So make sure you update that color there with your primary accent color on your layout. Also, the font being used on the layout is Poppins, so I'm going to be, this is where I would integrate or add that same font to my event calendar, and this will display the Poppins font on your heading or the event title, which is this here. Scroll back up. Your event title here, and also on the paragraph font. Unfortunately, I just have to confess, I had to add a really little snippet of CSS to kind of because the only reason I had to add some CSS to this was because it does match the font on some things, but for other things like I think on the slider, for example, and some other elements like the button text and other things, it was pulling from the plugin style sheet. So you can let me just go ahead and show you from my theme customizer. I know it's probably going to be hard for you to see it, but I think I just added a couple of things, which is not bad. Actually, you probably don't even need to see it, but it's going to look very, very similar to what I was showing you on the events page. without adding that custom CSS. It was just to add the matching fonts to a couple of elements. So yeah, so basically up here, I added one to the, so just kind of like the default div of the Modern Events Calendar, and also the Modern Events Calendar title. I wanted to match, this is nitpicking, I know, but I added a greater weight to it to match the layout. So that's it. And that's really all I did. And it was really easy to integrate the design. But I just wanted to mention that in case you see the fonts a little different on yours. All right, so that's styling options, really easy. Match your color with the theme color and or the layout color. And it also has a little spot here to enter your custom CSS, but I would suggest just putting it in your theme customizer instead of there. All right, that about covers our settings. After you get all your settings in place, what you're going to want to do is go and add all of the elements here to actually build your event page. So everything that we've done pretty much in our settings so far is setting us, or basically all the settings that are going to control, that have controlled this page here, the events page. And so now what we're going to need to do is we need to start adding those elements like a location, for example, and an organizer. And all of these are kind of those custom post types that we need to add so that the event page can pull from whenever we're building new pages. So that's what we're doing now. And to do that, you're going to want to go to, let's get over here, let's get out of my theme customizer. And let's go to the Divi, the WordPress dashboard. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm just checking on comments, got a little pause, and looks like, all right, so yes, Lauren, to answer your question, there are calendars you can design. I'm going to get to that, and it's actually going to really surprise you at how many different options there are. But there, and to whoever is commenting from Elegant Themes on YouTube, this one is easy to miss. There are a ton of I don't know if this is true for everyone out there, but there's a ton of event scheduling plugins out there, and it's, sometimes you got to look hard and actually test a few out to find a good one. But I think this one works out well. Ryan has a question. Can you set up front-end submissions so users can be charged to submit an event? I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I didn't stumble across that feature. But that is a good question. Yeah, maybe BJ or whoever can look that up for you, Ryan. Looks like we got some bidding going on. I'm not sure for what. Yeah, it looks like Ryan's trying to find that solution. So if anybody out there can help him, please do. Let's go ahead and continue on. So if you're just joining us, I want to welcome you to the Divi Use Case live stream for this week. And today I'm going to be showing you how to add event scheduling and booking to Divi's Pottery Studio layout pack. And I'm going to be using the Modern Events Calendar plugin. And if you need any links to any of what I'm going to be using, just go ahead and look in the video description. Get a copy of the plugin, the copy of Divi. There's even a blog post that goes along with this use case, so please check that out. So now that we have all of our settings in place, we are actually going to need to add some of these elements. So first thing I'm going to do is not add an event, because before I add events, I need all these things like tags, categories, labels, locations, organizers first. So once I have all of these that I need, then I can go add events and then pull from those things that I've already added. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to skip over tags and categories. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to add or start to filter your events by any tags or categories, you would of course add them there as a choice. Labels, I did add some labels. Actually, you can add any labels that you want, and you don't have to settle for the labels. You can change that to whatever it is. So I just added 3 to serve as the kind of level of difficulty for my workshop or class, my Pottery Studio workshop or class, like advanced, beginner, intermediate. You know, that may or may not work for yours, but I thought that would be one example of a label. And just showing you where that shows up here on your event page, right under your featured image. You can see the advanced. So I'm going to be going back and forth showing you where all this stuff is, but other than labels, you want to add, you know, locations. I've added, you can enter your name, slug, description, and then here you would enter your address for your location. The geolatitude and longitude are optional. Just put the address in there, and then add your new location. And then once that's done, the plugin will display that location here, and then also if you have Google Maps API activated, you will show that Google Map there. So that's locations. You also want to go to organizers and add all the organizers. I've actually I kind of cheated and used the people that were already on the Divi Layout. So if you look under, I think under the classes page, actually, I'm not sure where it was, but I just used those 3 that were listed there. So just as an example. And you would want to give them the name and then their telephone, email, and also a link to the their website if you wanted to, and then a link to, I'm sorry, and then a thumbnail. So their picture. Make sure you add their picture there. And then once you have all of your organizers, they'll be ready to be added to your event page. All right, so I'm going to get to shortcodes at the end there, but for right now, now that we have those elements added, now we're going to go and add a new event. So for right now, I'm going to show you the events that I already created. For this use case, I went ahead and created 3 classes and 3 workshops, and just to kind of as mock content for this use case, but I do want to show you, you know, how to set up both of those in case you wanted to do that as well. First one I want to show you is a class. So in order to add your new event, you would simply click Add Event, but since I already created one, I'm just going to use the one for time purposes that I've already created. So you would give it your event title, vessel alteration for this one. Enter your paragraph content there to serve as a description or a breakdown of what's involved in your class, or in this case, I think actually, yeah, it's a workshop. And oh, actually, I did add a couple of categories to kind of designate it as workshop or class. This would be helpful if you are going to filter it later on when you're displaying your events. You can, show all your workshops in a little shortcode, or all of your classes. So that's a good tip in case you were offering workshops and classes for your own pottery studio. The date here is the date, obviously, for your event. Since it is a workshop, it's just, this one's only going to be one day, so the start and end date are going to be the same. I put the time here as well, but you can hide the time if it becomes confusing. But here's where we add that hourly schedule. So just to show you what I'm talking about. Right down here, see this hourly schedule that gives you the breakdown? That's where you would add those elements. And then, so enter the time, or if I were to click add new, I can, the from time and the to time, and then the title and the description. And then this is where I would pull from whatever locations that I have in my settings. Event links. This is actually if you want a completely custom link for your event that would, point them somewhere else. You can add those links there. And this is where you would pull from the organizers that you have entered. This one will be displayed on your event page, just like this one, with all of the information. So if you've been following along, you can see you're probably getting an idea of how easy it is to build event pages once you have all those elements in place. So I can just click through all these things, and then boom, all of that stuff will be just deployed automatically. I mean, you are constricted to the page layout, but I mean, there are worse things. This is a pretty good layout, and they have, of course, 2 options available, which is nice. If it's a paid event, you're going to want to put in the cost here. And then that way it'll be displayed up here at the top, your cost. And you'll also, actually I was showing you the wrong one. It's actually this one. Didn't have a cost, so it's not showing up, but if I add it there, it'll show up. Event cost, so make sure you put that there. And then kind of separate is your booking ticket system here. So again, you have to have enabled booking in your settings. Once you do, you can go ahead and add a new ticket. And this is how the booking process works. It works with tickets. So you add a ticket, you give it a name and a description, you give it a price. This is actually what you want shown on the booking form. That's the label here. And then the number of tickets available. You might want to just put unlimited or whatever. And so that's about it. So after you have that set, let me go back up here to the right column here. Of course, you can add tags and categories, but you can also color code all of your events to kind of keep them, consistent for your users, things like that. And then event labels, which I did add over here, if you remember. And then, of course, your featured image. I would include one of the featured images that aren't that definitely are 1920 by about 600, something like that. Be a good size. If it becomes too tall, it'll take up too much of the page. So think wide and not so tall for your featured image. I think that works best. And then after you add all that, that's how you would add your workshop event. Let's go ahead and look at what a kind of an ongoing or recurring class would look like. Let's say, let's take a look at this one here, the mold making one that I created. And everything's basically the same, like you would, go through and add all of your event locations, organizers, all that. The only thing that would change, or that I want to point out, is if you're going to offer a repeating event, you would click this option here, event repeating, and then you can actually select how you want it to repeat: daily, every weekday, every week, every weekend, and then certain weekdays, which is what I put in all of these different customizations. And then let's say I want this one to take place every Thursday, and it's going to continue to do that. And it's going to continue to do that indefinitely unless I do something with this option, which is ends repeat. So if I never want it to end, I would just keep it selected as never. But if I wanted to last this class, for instance, this Thursday class to end after 6 times, or 6 weeks in this case, I could select that. All right, so now I want to make sure we have time for this next part, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to add your a calendar to your page. So if you remember, I showed you this event page here. Let me go to it. All right. So I'm going to show you first how to add this slider, and also this list grid layout here to your event page. So I'm using the classes layout, and so what you want to do is, if I were to edit this page, actually before I go to add it to the page, I'm going to show you how to build one. All right, so this is where you would go, and I could spend probably all day on these settings that I'm about to show you. And so there are a ton of options available for the different types of calendar views that you can choose from. And the way it works is you can actually build custom shortcodes. So all of these, some of these were actually included in the plugin already, and some of these I actually built. But let me show you how to build the slider one. They have carousels you can use. In fact, I have a carousel on one of these pages here, just as an example. Scroll down. Yeah, so here's an example of a carousel shortcode that you can build like really easily, and it's just going to show the events in this type of setting. And also the main, like a full calendar, if you wanted an example of what that looked like, you can see that here. So this is like a, you can switch from yearly, and it's got all of these wonderful options here. I can show a daily view, a list view, but going back to this monthly view, I can click on a date, I can see the event pop up, or events over here on the right, and of course I can just click on them and go to them. So this is only a couple of options, and like I said, there are tons. But here's how you would create one. I would go to the slide. This is how you create the slider view. If you were adding a new one, you would just simply click add shortcode from the top here. But these are basically your options. First, you would select your skin, and this is kind of like the view that you want. Do you want a slider? Do you want a monthly calendar view? Do you want a list view? And look, I mean, they got, I don't know how many that is, but there are a lot. And there are like agenda, full calendar, yearly view. Sorry, I want to keep the slider view. And then there's this with each option. So not only do you have all these views, but with each view comes its own different styles you can choose from. I mean, it is kind of a pain to have to go back and put the shortcode in to actually see what it looks like. But other than that, I mean, just having all these options is pretty awesome. So this is the slider view, and I picked type 3, which is the style that I wanted. And then I can just, filter this however I want. What do I want to display on my slider? I want, set my start date and all that, but then I can come down here and just say, maybe I just want to show classes. Well, I can do that. Maybe I want to show all the things from Houston location, all the organizers, filtered by organizer or label, any of these things. And so once you have all of these things in place, and I almost forgot, you can add a search form if you would like, but this is a slider, so it doesn't have that option really. But after you have all your settings, you definitely want to click update, and then now all you got to do is add that shortcode into a module using your Divi builder, and that's it. And it's going to display nicely. And so what I've done to build this classes page is, let's see if I can. Okay, so I have a question here, hourly view. Is there an hourly view? I think what that would be is the agenda view. I actually haven't even looked at that one. I just didn't have time. But maybe timetable or agenda view would probably be something that you were looking for, Francine. But yeah, good question. Can this plugin also be used as an online booking system with predefined time frames? For instance, to appear on a website where you can book a 1-hour lesson with a teacher, look when are available time slots. Yes, to answer your question is, I believe so. Yeah, I think I understand what you mean, Francine, and I think that is definitely possible. All right. That's the slider view, and let's see if I can. I'll show you how to add the shortcode in a bit, but that's how you build your slider. Let's go ahead and show you how to add that list view. All right, so here it is. It's an upcoming classes, and this is the title I gave it. It's called a minimal grid. So I did grid view, and when you think of a grid view, you can probably think of like a regular gallery grid view, and it actually does have that option. So just to show you, I've used the grid view, but I've chosen the style. Remember, every one of these skins has its own set of styles. I've chosen the minimal one. But if I did choose something like, I don't know, modern, and let me just save it out, and I'll show you the difference here. So this was minimal. This layout is minimal, but now that I've saved my shortcode, and let me refresh the page here, you can see this is the modern grid layout, which again is just one of many different skins and styles that they offer. So this would be a good option. And what I love about it is it doesn't have too much design, like it's real minimal. So it'll go well with any layout basically, which is cool. All right. Okay, let's continue on. So that would be one way to test this. or the different styles. I would just put your shortcode in on your page, and then change these options and refresh the page where it's on, and you can just kind of by trial and error figure out which one you want. Let me go back to minimal, update. All right. And I actually didn't, I chose to keep it real minimal. I didn't put a search form above it, which you could do. And I didn't filter anything. I just kind of showed all of my events in one place. This single event display method, if you wanted to show your event page in a pop-up modal, you can do that. Instead of opening this page, for example, in this separate page, it will pop it up in a on the same page there, and you can kind of scroll through the events. Okay, I'm just gonna real quick go here to your. I've deployed my visual builder, and if you wanted to add your, let me go back to my shortcode here. You would simply copy your shortcode. This is for the minimal grid, and then you would go to where you want to add it on your layout here. Just for example, I added it to this module, and I added it to a text module here, and I just placed the code right there. And when you're done, it's going to show your calendar in the module, which opens up a whole lot of possibilities for design. I mean, you could add a background image to this, or to the row, or whatever it is you need. And I haven't really even tested whether or not you can target any of these elements, shortcode content, with the settings of the module, but you're welcome to try that out. All right, pretty short on time here. Do I have any last questions that maybe I can address? And yeah, as a reminder, this video will be available after the live stream is over. So if you missed anything, feel free to go and check it out. All right. I love all of the conversations we're having. Keep that up. We're learning some stuff. Actually, I don't see any specific questions maybe that relate to this per se, but thank you, BJ, for handling some of those questions for me. Some people are now wishing that they did not buy their or get their other event plugin because they like this one. Yep, I don't know. Maybe it's worth the transition back. I don't know. All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, or if there are, actually go to the blog post, and you can always ask some questions in the comments on the blog post after this video is over as well. All right, well, that's it for this video. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our blog newsletter and our YouTube channel right there. And we'll be back here next Tuesday with another Divi use case live stream. So please be sure and check that out. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.